live Q&A I'm doing today. Thanks for anyone who has tuned in. Tuned in. God. I realise I may have picked a bad time to do this because the weather outside is really nice, and I'm sure most people are outside having a barbecue and enjoying the weather. But when I scheduled this morning, the weather didn't look that great. So yeah. Anyway, welcome guys. For anyone who's here, the what I'll do in this session is answer any questions you guys have about Amazon FBA. So a quick introduction. My name's Simon. I've been selling on Amazon now for about 2 years. I'll be 2 years on the 6th of July. So nearly 2 years now. I don't know how much in sales, loads in sales, 700,000, 800,000. I don't know actually. Made around 125,000 profit, something like that. I think last time I checked. So not too bad really. So 6-figure Amazon seller. So I know roughly what I'm talking about anyway. So yeah, I just like to do these live Q&As, and I do them about once a month now. I'd like to get to the point where I can do these every week, but I need my Discord group to grow a bit more. Grow a bit more until we get more members, so that we don't get stuck in this 1 hour with no questions. So we'll see how this goes anyway. It's scheduled for an hour. If it gets to the point where there's no questions, then we'll cut it off sooner, but we should be okay. Cool. So hello to Saeed Qureshi. Sorry if I've totally butchered your name. Sorry about that, but welcome to the channel. Not the channel, the stream. God, I'm all over the place today, guys. Cool, right, so we had some questions already in the Discord group. God, I'm heating up in here, guys. The sun, you can probably see it streaming on me through the blinds. Right, we've got some questions anyway, so we'll jump straight into those. So one of them is, what does a healthy account buy box percentage look like? Now, I don't know, like, from an account point of view. Obviously, on a per listing point of view, the answer is it depends. That's pretty much the answer to every question. It depends. So obviously you need to be ideally getting enough percentage buy box that you're getting some good sales coming through. So obviously it depends if it's a high SPM listing. Let's say it's a listing that sells 2,000 a month or 1,000 a month, let's say, and you're getting 1% of the buy box. Well, that's still probably a decent amount of sales. And then obviously, if you're only making like 50p an item, it's not so great. If you're making £10 an item, that's fantastic. So it depends on the number of sellers and stuff. I've done a whole video around like how to get the buy box. Maybe I'll just get a quick link for that, you guys. So there's a lot of factors that go into getting the buy box, and that's why I did this video, and I'll link it here. I'll put it into the chat. Hopefully that's it. So yeah, but just to summarize that, there's a lot of factors that go into it. The main one generally, obviously, is the price. However, that's not the be all and end all. You guys probably know I harp on about Profitector Pro all the time. But one of the things I love about that software is that they're able to get the buy box like above the minimum price. So they really push Amazon. Now, it doesn't work on every listing, but it does work on many, and I'm able to get the buy box much higher. Let me just make sure I mute my Discord and mute my computer as well for 1 hour. So yeah, so price is probably the main one. But things like, how long have you been on a listing? How much stock have you got? If you've only got one item in stock versus say 1,000 items in stock, then that obviously makes a big difference, because if you've got 1,000 items in stock, then Amazon can distribute that all throughout the country, and then you're more likely to get a sale because it's all about the prime delivery, the next day delivery. But yeah, I've been on listings though where I've got 1% of the buy box and someone else has got 99%, and just no matter what I do, I can't seem to break into it. We're very similar in terms of seller ratings, and I've got plenty of stock in there, but I think they were just on the listing first, so Amazon's just prioritizing them. And then there's other listings where I'm on, where I've got like 95, 98, even 99% of the buy box, and other people are trying to break into it. But I guess I'm always in stock. Amazon know me as a known quantity. This is good for replens, by the way. And yeah, so they're basically just happy to keep giving me the buy box. So yeah, it's, at the end of the day, only Amazon knows really. So, but yeah, the main thing is just need to look and see how often the buy box percentage changes. You can look at that using Keeper. You can look at a 30, 60, 90 day lifetime. Just hopefully what you want to see is that there's not just one guy dominating it the entire time, because then it's going to be really hard to break into that listing and get a buy box percentage, like a decent one. But like I say, if it's an item that's selling 2,000 a month and you can get 5, 10%, 10% to 200 sales a month, and not too bad really. So yeah, it all depends really. Right, this next question then. So we'll go to the Discord question then. Excuse me. Saeed asking, what's a good KPI for inventory turnover? I'll be honest, I don't really know. It's not something I really pay attention to be honest. I know my my storage index, whatever you want to call it, rating thing went down recently because I sent all my inventory into Amazon. I overstocked on items, but yeah, I was happy to pay a bit extra in storage, but to get out of my apartment. But yeah, I'm not sure. It's not something I really look at. It's not something I worry about too much, really, is looking at that kind of thing. So the answer to there is I don't know. So yeah, guys, if I don't know, I don't know. I won't try and bluff it. But yeah, so sorry I can't be more helpful on that, but that is something I don't pay attention to. Maybe I should, I don't know. Another question that came in on the Discord was transitioning from RA to OA and how to start creating unique bundles. So we'll jump to the bundles thing first. I don't have much experience creating bundles, so I can't really answer that one. There's a fantastic community who every time I do one of these, I seem to give them a free plug. I really need to get in touch with them to try and get some sort of affiliate link. But it's called The Hive, and you can always DM me and I'll send you a link if you can't find it. They're all about creating bundles, from like simple bundles to complex bundles. So it's a big way of doing it. There's so many ways to do Amazon, guys. Like you can do OA, you can do RA, obviously private label, wholesale. But then within all of those, you can do bundles, you can do unique bundles. There's no limit to what you can do, guys. So yeah, but I don't really have much experience in bundles. The only bundles I've done is like shampoo, conditioner together, or things like that, or taking like one item and making it 3, if that makes sense, like 3 packs. I know guys that have done bundles, and I've seen ones where they bundle like 4 or 5 branded items, and then they'll put their like one private label in there as well, and that makes it unique because they've got their private label. No one else can copy that. You can then put that on your own brand as well. So that's a good way to do it. But yeah, I'm not like an expert on it. But yeah, that Hive place, I did watch some of the videos, talks more about it, and they talk about the most basic one, which is like taking a 1-pack and make it into a 2-pack is like the most basic one, all the way up to like unique bundles and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, can't be much help on that. Transitioning from RA to OA. That's an interesting one, I guess. That's an interesting one. Why would you? Yeah, transitioning from RA. I mean, I would never give up RA if you can continue doing it, because that's where you get like the really big like ROIs and stuff. But yeah, if I was to transition from RA to OA, I guess the main thing is like you're going to need to accept that you need to be putting the orders in. So you need to, and I talked about this in my latest video, just like knowing what you need to spend to make whatever money you're looking for. So if you're looking to make, say, £2,000, let's say £3,000 a month, for example, you need to be, and you're running on 30% ROI, you need to be spending £10,000 a month. So that's the main thing, is just like being relentless on the orders, ordering loads of stuff, keeping on top of your replens. So that's probably the biggest thing. Is it moves maybe more from RA's maybe not quite a replenishable thing, although there are replens available on RA. And having like high ROI and like more one-off deals to maybe more replens. Lower profits though, lower ROIs but higher volumes tends to be, I guess, the way that OA works. And the other thing as well with like the difference between RA and OA is unless it's like a national sale with RA where everyone bought it and you have to hold for ages, generally RA products flip quicker, whereas OA tends to tank a little bit more. There's kind of no way around that. Unless you're finding unique items that no one else has found, and OA does tank a little bit, especially if you're sourcing from all the the big sites. I've had a few people message me recently saying, "Oh, is it normal for some of these leads to tank?" And I'm like, unfortunately, it is a little bit, but you just need to wait. That's where you just don't. If a group posts a lead out that's like 5 sales a month, 10 sales a month, they post that out to 200 people, probably wouldn't buy it. But if it's a 300, 400, 500 sales per month, then yeah, I'd go for it. And yeah, I might have to hold on for it a month, 2, 3 months, but there's another question later on. I'll talk about how long I hold stock for. But yeah, that's probably the biggest, I guess, shock when it goes from doing RA to OA is that, yeah, sometimes you have to hold. Hold is gold. That's the term that I come up with. Hold is gold. Cool. So if you guys have got any questions, please put them in, either if you're in my Discord group, put them in the questions channel, or if you are in the live chat on YouTube, please put them in the chat there if you've got any questions about Amazon FBA. Cool. So next question was, I guess, what we just talked about. So if an item is not selling, at what age do you decide to drop the ROI and maybe break even just to get rid? So for me, I kind of just hold everything. Eventually I do get rid of stuff, but I'm lucky enough that I've got a decent amount of capital that I can kind of hold stuff and wait it out. But I analyze every product and just see, like, has this got a chance of recovering? That's the main thing. Even if I have to hold it for a year, and there's a product, one or two products I've got where I've had to hold it for a year or so. It was essentially maybe a bad purchase at the time, but it will come good. However, if you've got limited funds, you don't want to be waiting a year on an item because to try and get 30% ROI or whatever you're going to get on it, you're better off just clearing it out for break even and just get that money churning. Because, would you rather wait 1 year to get 30% ROI? Or would you rather just break even on it now and then try and churn that money 2, 3, 4 times in a year and get 20, 30, 40% ROI? So a lot of this game as well is just churning stock if you've got limited funds. Maybe not willing. I try and maximize my profits as much as possible. When it comes to all my items, pretty much I'm looking to maximize profit per unit. Because I'm at the point where I've got more money than I can spend, if that makes sense. But if you're the other way around, there's more leads, and then you've got enough money, which is what most people are in. Then you should be looking to churn items. You can churn that. Like I said, it's better to maybe take 20% ROI, 5 times a year than 30% ROI twice a year. So yeah, all depends. But analyze each product for its own merits. You need to look at the keeper charts and understand exactly what's going on with that, how likely it is to recover. Look at the sales per month, look at the number of sellers, look at the stock levels, look at the history and see if it's tanked in the past and did it ever recover, things like that. Excuse me. How do I mute my mic when I do that? Figure that out in a second. Let's have a look. I don't know. Anyway, cool, right. So another question, Oseke from Goldies. How many OA deals from Mental Picks do you buy on a day or week on average? So I'll be honest, guys, I went through a bit of a period where I was not buying many leads from many Discord groups just because I was focusing on my Discord, my YouTube. I kind of neglected FBA a little bit for 3-4 months. I was living off replans. I was still making 10,000 a month, guys. Living off replans. So it just shows you, and I was happy with that. So I was, in hindsight, now I've lost my best replan. Maybe I should have carried on sourcing. It wouldn't be so painful, but yeah. But now, basically, I will evaluate everything. There are a lot of leads on there that are good for non-VATers. I'm obviously VAT registered, so I do skip those. But if anything looked good, I will buy it, basically. So how many do I buy? I don't know, 10, 20 a week on average, probably. As OA leads. RA, again, I've not done RA in ages. I'm just too busy now to go and do RA. I've got too many things to do. So I've got my FBA. I try and split my time, 3 hours of FBA a day, 3 hours of me doing FBA, that is. 3 hours of me doing my sort of Discord group and social side. I'm making a course as well, a free course for everyone. And then I'm trying to squeeze in 3 hours of coding as well, so for software and things like that. So yeah, and then obviously I'm going to fit admin and stuff in there as well. So I'm doing too many things to even go out and do RA right now. But that's definitely leaving money on the table. But you can't do it all, I suppose. Right, let's just see. Someone's asked in... Just having a look at the... Cool, questions here. So, we've got a ping in another group. Let's have a look. Right, so another question then. We're running out of questions now, guys. So if you've got any questions, please put them in the question sections or the chat. Cool. So yeah, that's roughly how much I'm doing. So my younger brother has just got into FBA, and he's bought loads of leads by using Mental Picks and Arby Source. So if you want to get discounts for both of those, join my Discord. Use I think it's the code FBA. I can't remember what the code is. So yeah, join my Discord, or if you want, I'll put the links down below. But yeah, he spent I think it was 3,500-4,000 his first week. So not too bad. Obviously, he had me helping him, which is really good. So he's not actually sold anything yet as well. I'll point that out. He's only ordered and he's prepped and packed. Well, not all of it, but some of it. Did his first UPS shipment. So yeah, he got into it really quickly. I did give him that replan that I lost. You might have, Lawrence, yes. You'll have to go back and watch it. That's one of the first ones I covered. Sorry, Lawrence. Lawrence is asking if you missed his question about the buy box. Cool, right. So, yeah, my brother's been getting into the FBA. And, yeah, doing pretty well. I gave him my replan, guys. He got one order in. Then ordered the second lot. And it was out for dispatch. And then it didn't turn up. And then he looked at the tracking and the retailer had recalled it, which is crazy. So, yeah, nuts. So they're on top of that replan. Maybe it's because he's got the same surname as me, I don't know. Anyway, cool. But yes, he's been buying Mental Picks, Retail Arbitrage. He was actually really impressed with not Retail, Arby Source, sorry. He was using Arby Source, I was really impressed with it. So, yeah. Right. So when you're going to do some OA, another question by the way, guys, from DJ. Do you set out a plan on what you want to do? Time frame, category, amount of leads? Yes. Amount of leads. I'm getting ahead of myself here, guys. Would you spend a couple of hours every day doing OA sourcing? So yes, when I did actually source on a daily basis, I kind of set a set time of when to do it. I wouldn't say I was a huge sourcer, but I got okay at it, or more than okay. I was okay. Yeah, I was okay at it anyway. Enough. You need to learn to source, guys. You want to do this business, you need to learn to source. You can get leads from groups and stuff, and that's great. And you can use things like Arby Source, which is great as well. But ideally, you want to be able to manually source as well, if you want to get to that. Like I'm a big believer. If you do Mental Picks and Arby Source, for example, you can get to like 2,000-3,000 profit a month. There's another group coming out soon, which I cannot tell you about right now, but that's going to be killer for Amazon to Amazon. So there'll be an exclusive link for you guys for that when it comes out. But yeah, you can use those to get sort of 2,000-3,000 a month. I'm pretty confident in that. But then if you want to grow more, then you kind of need to learn how to source yourself. So, but yes, what I'm doing, you need to understand how much you want to make. You need to have a plan. If you want to make 3,000 a month, you need to know, because it's all about spending. You can't really. It's what can you control in Amazon FBA? You can't really control your profit. Like obviously, you can do all the research and stuff. But at the end of the day, once it goes to Amazon, it might tank and stuff. So, but you can control it, but you can control it through your spend. The main thing you can look at is like what products you're buying, what ROIs you're looking at, and how much you're spending. Those are the three things. And I get some students who are saying like, oh, I'm not making as much as I want, and I'm like, well, how much are you spending? They're like, I'm only spending a certain amount, and it's like, well. Yeah, you need to spend more. This is a relentless game. And if you want to grow your business, you need to spend exactly the same as you did last month and then more on top. So to grow. So it's a relentless business of growing. So yes, you need to first come up with what you need to be doing. So I've got some software, amazseller.com. You can use that. You can set your spending goals in there and then, like I say, example is 3,000 a month profit. You need to be spending £10,000 a month to make that if you're running at 30% ROI, roughly. So if you're only spending 5,000, then how are you going to make the 3,000 profit? So you need to know that. Once you know what your goal is, then you can then obviously source 1 or 2 hours a day. Now you might find a lead right away and spend what's 10,000 divided by 20. I should know this off the top of my head, like 500, is it? So if let's say you source Monday to Friday. Yeah, you need to spend £500 a day. Now, it might be that one day you spend 2,000, another day you spend nothing, but as an average, it's 500. So I would always look at it as a monthly average. But you may be that if you're struggling, you need to source longer for the day. So category. I'm personally a big believer of focusing on a good category, but I'm in the minority, I think. Most people just kind of go for everything. But I found personally going for guys know I don't like health and beauty. Really, I don't really like toys and video games. Now I do sell them at Christmas, and I sell health and beauty at Christmas as well. Like, so I'll buy Lego and stuff. I'm not going to turn down money, guys, but most of those items I buy are going to be for seasonal. So like sun creams right now is health and beauty category. Item in the health and beauty category. So I will sell that. But a year round, I'm not really selling health and beauty. And then obviously when it comes to Christmas, it's perfumes. Obviously all toys do very well. Video game stuff, sure. Q4 is an exception though. But I'm a big fan of focusing on a category. Amount of leads found, again, it just depends on what category you're sourcing, and it could be you find one good lead. Like, guys, I had one replay and I spent over 150 grand on that, on one SKU in about 6 months. So, and that was probably worth about, well, it was probably about £5,000 a month profit from one item. So from a major site, and no one bought it apart from me and a few other people. So yeah, it's still there. It just shows you us there. So yeah, or it could be just you're doing generally, let's look at it this way. You have to buy lots of leads, and then every now and then, the more you source, the better you're going to get, and you're going to find a killer lead. So you're essentially like looking for gold, and you're going to find little specks of gold here and there, which are good profits, but just your bread and butter stuff. And then one day you're going to find a nugget, and that's going to be like the big money. So yeah. Anyway, I hope that answers that question. And yeah, ideally just, so I'm a big fan of newsletter sourcing. Sign up to newsletters, do it manually on a new Gmail account, or use SalesGazer, it's free. Check every morning. Most of these newsletters come out sort of 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. roughly. Sometimes they come later. It depends what site you're sourcing and stuff. And then you see a sale, go onto the sale, manually source it. Pretty much, do that for 2 hours every day, Monday to Friday. You'll get good, basically. Simple as that. Cool, right then. Right, let's take a question. I'll come back to you in a minute, DJ. I'm going to go to the chat here. So, Card Collectibles has asked, would you say that RB source is a must-have for OA sourcing? It's not a must-have, no. But it does make your life easier? Yeah. But you can manually source all this stuff. So one thing they've done recently is and I used it in the past, guys, I'll be 100% honest, and I wasn't a fan of it, okay? Because the matching on it was really not good. But they've updated that recently, and I was quite impressed with the matching. Now, does it match everything? No. But it does a really good job. They've also put a price drop monitor in there as well. So, that post deals with the price drops. So that's another good thing as well. It's ideally what you want to really be doing in an ideal world is getting really good at manual sourcing, and that is your sort of bread and butter. That's where you make the 5,000-10,000 a month profit, and then you can use things like Amazon to Amazon, Arbysource, Mental Picks, all these whatever it is to just boost your profits. But yeah, that's what is the best thing to do, really. So get good at sourcing yourself, and then use all these things just to add profit. On the Amazon to Amazon, you can probably make £2,000 a month just doing Amazon to Amazon. Now, it goes very hot and cold. Sometimes there's barely any deals on. Other days, one ping comes along, you made £1,500 profit. It's just like, it's very hot and cold. So it's not consistent. But yeah, so it's not essential. I'm not going to say anything's essential apart from knowing to source yourself. Cool. Let me just move this over because I keep looking over that way. I should be looking at the camera. Cool. So hopefully that answers your question there. So you don't need it. It's a crutch in a way. It's a good crutch, but it's just ways to make extra money. And I know guys, by the way, that just do Amazon to Amazon, make 2,000. Anuffles is in my group. Lewis just does Amazon to Amazon, does about £2,000 profit a month. There you go. Doesn't really source much else. So yeah, there you go. As an example, by the way. I'm sure there's people that do that with Arbisource as well. Cool. James has asked, what key bits are you looking at when analysing your product? So I'm going to do a whole video around this, but so I need to plan it out. When I'm looking at a product, I'm looking at what are the sales per month? And when I'm looking at this, by the way, I'm looking at Amazon first. What do Amazon say? If Amazon tell me what the sales per month is, that's the end of it. Amazon have told me. That's from the horse's mouth. If it's not there, if there's nothing there, that means it's under 50 sales per month. If it's over 50, Amazon will tell you. Then I'm looking at Keeper, then I'm looking at SellerAmp in that order. And then obviously looking at like what's the profit now, I guess, is the first thing. So what can I buy it for now? Is it profitable? It probably is profitable now if I've looked at it, I guess, and still been given it. But that's not just the be all end all. I need to look at how many sellers are on there, and then what I'm looking at is the keeper history. I'm going through the keeper history for like the 30, 90, even the all or a year. And I'm just seeing like what the price trends happen. What happens when sellers jump on? Does the price come down? It always does, essentially. But how long does it take to recover? There was a great in the video I did release today, actually. I think my driving vlog one. I talked about this, and I put a graph on there showing an item that goes up and down like a yo-yo, a roller coaster, I should say. And yeah, so it's a good opportunity. So I'm looking at that. Basically, I'm looking at like essentially what is the most I can get for this item, or what's the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? Best case scenario, it might be now, like, oh, the price is the best now, or the sale. I'm getting this item really cheap, and I'm selling it for the normal price, and that's great. Or it might be not quite as good, that I'm just buying it for a normal-ish price, and the price has gone up on Amazon. I'm looking at that. I'm just looking to see like what's the upside. How much profit is that going to be? Hopefully 30% ROI is the minimum I'm looking for. That gives you some leeway. I'm also looking at the downside as well. Look at the history. What's the worst case scenario? What happens when all these sellers jump on there? What's my bottom price? Now, if it's break even, I'm pretty happy with that, actually. So I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, I'm going to break even, but obviously I'm going to hold this and try and get 30% ROI. Even if it's just a little loss, maybe. But what you don't want to be doing is buying an item where the highs and the lows are so high that, like, yeah, you might make a fat profit, but if it goes down and goes really bad, you're going to be losing £4 or £5 a unit or something, whatever it is. So, and I've got something like that from ages ago, which I've, still not cleared yet. So, I need to I'm really bad at going through my inventory. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, basically. I'm looking at the history. I'm trying to understand the product. What happens when sellers jump on? What happens when the sellers come off? How does the price react? Is Amazon jumping on the listing at all? How does that affect the listing? I'm looking to make sure there's no IP issues, and the way you can look at that is by if you see like a huge sudden drop in the seller count, that probably means everyone's been kicked off at the same time. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, I'll do a video about this where I've got more organised thoughts. Right, 1 second. I've just got a message. Yeah, cool. No problem for the shout out. That's fine. Excuse me. Let's grab a drink. So, what questions have we got? Could you show us an example of an old replan? So, guys, I will give out 99.9% of information. But I'm not going to tell you like anything I sell now, anything I've sold in the past. I basically don't want you to know my store. Simple as that, basically. So no, I won't. Sorry. Yeah, I'll keep that a secret as long as possible. Now, there's some people who know it already. It's fine. Please keep it secret. But yeah, no, I can't just give that out, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just because everyone will jump on it and kill it, unfortunately. So I still need to make money off it myself. I'm happy to give pretty much every bit of information on Amazon, but I'm not going to give you my store, all the products I sell, all the categories I sell. But beyond that, it's fair game. Cool. So we'll answer Lawrence's question then. There's always this like heart over the question down here. I can't actually read it all. I'm just doing this so I can actually read the question. Put the few dots there. Have you ever done FBM? How did you find it? Guessing you don't do it now. I have done FBM. Generally, I do FBM at Christmas, just because I guess the timescales are faster. It used to be that FBM didn't get as much like buy box percentage as FBA, but I think Amazon have changed that now. But yeah, I've done it during Christmas time. I wouldn't be doing it now myself. I know there's guys in the USA that really promote doing FBM, but for me, it's all about the FBA. That's the power of Amazon. So I don't want to be sitting here packing hundreds of items. But if a good lead comes along and it's only profitable for FBM, I'd consider doing it, I suppose. I'm not going to turn down money, but it depends how much effort goes into it. I saw a silly little post on Twitter of a guy. He had hundreds of packages behind him, all individual packs. You could see there was an individual going to customers. It was like, message me on how to do FBA. And I was like, that's not FBA if you're packing them yourself. That's FBM. So, yeah, anyway, kind of funny. Cool. So DJ asks, how do you work out how much of one item to buy? So a good way is to look at the sales per month, and then you can. It's a simplistic way, I should say, is look at the sales per month. Let's say it's 100 a month, for example, and there's 9 sellers, and then if you jump on, there'll be 10 sellers. Then you can essentially say it's going to be 10 sales per month. Okay. Now, obviously, this doesn't factor in seasonality and things like that. Obviously, items go hot and cold throughout the year, depending on what they are. But let's just say this is one that sells year round. Now, obviously, that's a bit simplistic. You need to look at the buy box percentages in Keeper and just make sure that it's being shared equally, because you may find that that one person's dominating the buy box, maybe got 90% of the sales, so they're getting 90 sales, and everyone else is scratching around for one. And then from there, I just judge it basically. But to be honest, I do kind of like to go deep on products like 20, 30, 40, 50. You know, I say deep. There's, you know, I know there's someone in this chat now who would laugh at thinking that's a deep product, but you know, this guy buys hundreds and hundreds of an item. Hi, Ravi. Yeah, so I just try and, because what I'm trying to do there is basically like knock that guy off the buy box, the dominating the buy box if I can. Bit risky, I suppose, but yeah, if I find a good product, I kind of go deep on it. Depends. Yeah, it all depends really. As a general rule, minimum of 10. Well, I'm not, because I'm VAT registered, and I have to like chase invoices and stuff like that, and it's a pain. If I can only order like 2 or 3 of an item and there's not enough money in it, then it's not worth it for me. So for me, really, the lead in itself has to be worth at least probably 10, 15, 20 pounds a month for me. So if I can only buy 3 of an item and I'm only going to make, you know, £3 per unit, so £9, I won't buy it. But yeah, I'm looking at 10 minimum. But you guys can start with 5. You know, that way you can never. If you're going to go wrong, you're going wrong in a small way, and then as you get more experience, then it won't. You know, you can up those levels to 10, 15, 20 or whatever, as a general rule. So, but yeah, when I started out, I think 10 was pretty much my sort of go-to amount. Also good for ungating as well, 10 as well. So, right. So I hope that answered that question, I guess, as well. So again, it all depends. I just analyze the product. If this, you know, sometimes, quickly going back to this question, sometimes like the prices just spike for a short time, and I'm like, well, you know, I could maybe get 5 units in, 10 units in, get in at that high price before it comes back down again. Risky, you know, I wouldn't go deep on that, but sometimes, yeah, it's, you know, it all depends basically. So you need to look and analyze the product. And if you guys have got any, you know, products you want me to analyze for you, just DM me the ASIN on Discord. I can always help you out. So quick look here. Ooh, we've got some good Amazon to Amazon deals here. Should I pause the the stream to buy this? Oh dear, that's naughty, I suppose. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer this question and then buy this as we're talking. So yeah, Amazon to Amazon deal popped up. Cool. What was a question? So hi Ravi, how's it going? So Jason saying, I stupidly bought an 808 that was too big to fit in the box, 70 centimeters to send to Amazon. I've never done FBM, but that'd be the best way to send it in. So if it's an oversized item, you can send it. You can still send it into Amazon. You can send oversized items that are above the 63.5 centimeter limit. So you can kind of bundle them together. You can put it on a pallet maybe. FBM could be the way to do it as well. Obviously, you just probably want to get rid of it at this point. But yeah, it wasn't a Nerf gun or something, was it? I don't know. But yeah, you can send them in though. You can like get some black wrap, maybe as long as they're boxed well, I suppose, and then like wrap them all around. I don't know how many you bought, and then send those in, so they can go into Amazon fine. Obviously, you just can't send anything else in that item. So oversized can go in. So, but yeah, so I'm just buying an Amazon to Amazon deal now that I can't turn down. So yeah, awesome, cool. All right, hope you don't all leave. All right. Anyway, next question. So Chungi says, "Hey guys, I'm looking for new friends to hang out with, or guys for some." Oh, that's funny. You got me there. I really should read the questions first. So that was a good one. Yeah. So wait, there might be someone in here who's might yeah. So who knows? Jason, you said it was a Nerf gun. Yeah. So yeah, sure. Well, good luck to you, Chungi, if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, I'm not over 50, so I can't help you. Other than that, no. So yeah, thanks for that question. Funny, I'll leave it in there. It's fine. Cool. So any other questions, guys? While I quickly buy this Amazon to Amazon lead. So Amazon guys, I've obviously not had time to analyze this. I'm just buying it and then I'll look at it later. So that's a good tip for Amazon. I've mentioned it plenty of times. Shoot first, ask questions later. So I'll buy this now. It might not be a good lead at all. I can't really tell. But all I can say is Q4. It's probably going to be good. But yeah, if you guys got any questions, I'm on the wrong Amazon account here. Oh yeah, a lot of confusion going around Amazon guys. You can around how to create the accounts and stuff. So you create 3 accounts, 3 personal accounts, 3 business accounts. You can use this, well, for the personal accounts anyway, you can use the exact same details. There's nothing nefarious going on here, guys. You can use the exact same billing address, shipping address, and card on all 3 accounts. So nothing wrong with that. Don't need to use your friends and families, thing like that. And basically, you need to have your billing address exactly matching your business address that's on Amazon for 2 reasons. It helps for ungating authenticity claims as well. But also, when it comes to claiming VAT back from HMRC, you need to make sure that your billing address is on there correctly. Otherwise, it's a low risk thing, but in theory, they could decline your VAT claim. That has happened to one person I've heard of, so not a likely thing. But it could happen. So yeah, just buying this Amazon to Amazon. Maybe it pinged in every group. I don't know. But yeah. Any other questions, guys? So yeah, Amazon to Amazon can be a great way to make some good money. And like I say, there's nothing wrong with creating all those accounts. They're just limited to 3 orders, pretty much. And generally, when the good deals come on, they limit you to 3 quantity as well. So yeah. Give me your questions, guys, if you've got any. Not about dating. So, yeah. They're deleted. Oh, no, they're not. Cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Right. Amzad Sadiq, how boss? How are you? Hi, boss. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Cheers. Cool. Ravi says, I think Amazon looking at lowest price point. I prefer your hold and sell process. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need to look at the history of the product. Understand, like every product goes through its cycles, and even items that tank because everyone jumped on them, they will come back eventually. I've had leads but taken a year to come back. Now, I don't advocate holding for a year, but they do come. Everything will come back eventually. You just hope that the item's not going to expire if it's like an expired item or something like that. So, yeah, tanking is kind of part of the Amazon thing. You're trying to avoid. And the way you can really avoid price tanking, guys, is, for me, the best way is to just don't source from those huge sites that everyone sources from. Like, obviously, when you're starting out, Starvana, iHerb can be a bit tanky, I guess. Holland and Barrett, another one as well. Unless you can clear the stock, they can be a bit tanky, and you might have to hold for a little bit longer. So, Ravi said, I've recently discovered 4 to 5 of my items products tanked and now profitable 4 months later. Exactly, yeah. So just be patient. Everyone panics. Like there's a lot of scared money. It's a phrase from the poker days. Scared money. They're worried they're going to lose their money. So people tank the prices down, just happy to break even or like make no money or whatever, or make 10p or something stupid. But yeah, if you just wait, it'll come back. So use Keeper. Look at the history. What the heck is Moo tracking? So that's in Mental Picks, I believe. I think Moo. I'm not sure, by the way, guys. I think it's like a service that they bought to help track items, but I don't know really. Yeah, the only thing I know about of Amazon is like obviously Keeper, and then like the consumer equivalent of that is Camel. So Ravi says, why 3 accounts? Because you can only make 3 orders. Simple as that, basically. So Amazon came up with that. If you try and order more than that, you get an email from QLA@amazon.com saying you've ordered too many items. We've automatically cancelled your order. That is why you can only order 3 3 orders, and that's the limit. That's all they allow you to do. So yeah, that's why we came up with that strategy. A fairly simple one, but that's why. Stephanie asks, do I sell in the States? I do not. I would love to get into selling into the USA, but I just don't have the time to even think about that right now because I have to obviously set up the corporation out there, get the bank accounts. I guess I'd have no credit ratings, there'd be no credit card. Convert all the money over to US dollars, find a prep center, then I have to figure out how to source out there. Yeah, it's something I'd love to do, but I just don't have time to focus on that right now. It is a gold mine from what I've seen, an absolute gold mine, and it looks like a lot easier than the UK as well because we have to deal with VAT returns and stuff. None of that rubbish out there. So something I want to get into. If someone's got the time to do it and the inclination to do it, do it. I've heard. Well, it's a gold mine out there. Obviously, sales losses in the USA are crazy. Like they're 10 times what they are in the UK. But there's a few downsides. Like it takes longer for things to ship. Shipping takes longer. Prep can take longer and be more expensive, even though they're in like sales tax free states. Accounting, I've heard. I mean, this is something someone told me: $1,000 a month for accounting. I don't know if that's true or not, but everything's more expensive in America and slower. So, but obviously, when you get to actually selling it, you get more money. So, it's a slower churn, but a bit of a gold mine, from what I've heard. Cool. So we've got a question in my Discord group. Dean is asking, "What do I think about wholesale?" I've never done it myself, so I've got no experience with wholesale, but. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it, to do wholesale? Again, it's a whole nother skill that I've not learned. I don't have time for it. But you need to be someone who... I do need to be VAT registered, although that's not essential. But you need to be someone who's willing to hit the phones, calling up the wholesalers, trying to create accounts. You need to have good processes to go through the thousands of products they sell to find the one or two good ones. Obviously, negotiating prices as well. Like the price they give you might not be the one you want to buy from. These are just things I've heard by watching people who watching like podcasts and stuff about wholesalers. One guy would say he would go through the catalog. He'd take the catalog. He'd run it through like a wholesale scanner. He'd order them by the fastest selling units down to the lowest selling units. He'd then say to these guys like the wholesaler say, right, I want to buy these like top 10 selling things. Your price is like $1. I need to pay 50 cents. How many units do I need to buy to get 50 cents? So he basically said to them what price he needs to make it worthwhile. If they can't meet that price, they just won't buy it. He'll move on to the next one. But that's a good strategy, I suppose. But you need to be hitting the phones, getting those accounts. And the best wholesalers take months, if not years, to get accounts with. You need to be pestering them all the time. So that's what I've heard anyway. I've got no experience with this myself. So, and yeah, you probably need a bit more money as well, minimum order quantity as well, minimum purchase order, they call it. It could be 500, could be 1,000, could be £5,000, depending how good the wholesaler is. If the wholesaler is really good, they've probably got like much higher quantity, like minimum purchase orders. But yeah, get into it, guys, but I know nothing about it, unfortunately. So yeah, really, well, I've got no personal experience, I should say. Cool. What Discord pinged the good A2A deal? It's that, well, it might have been in other ones, I'm not sure, but it's this new one that's coming out. I'm currently in the beta test of it. I can't say any more than that, really. It's in the beta test. It's still early days. Yeah, it's going to be killer. Really good when it comes out. I'm obviously evaluating it right now. I know the guy who runs it, so I know it's going to be good. But I don't recommend anything to you guys before I've tested it myself. So I'm in there now. It's got a few bugs right now, but it's new early days. So when that comes out, guys will hook you up with an awesome discount or something like that. When it comes out. But yeah, it's going to be limited numbers for the first 6 months or a year, I think. Who knows? So yeah, I'll try and get you guys in early if I can. But I can't say more than that right now. And by the way, that ping might be shit. I've not actually analysed it yet. I've just bought it. I'll look at it after the stream. So yeah, Amazon. Shoot first, ask questions later. Buy now, then evaluate. Because otherwise you'll be missing out on all the good deals. Cool. So let me see if there's any other questions. So I've done the wholesale one. Cool. So right, Jason, how do prep centres work in terms of knowing what items are yours, getting things delivered there, and know they're receiving, etc.? So I've used 2 prep centres myself. One is FA Prep UK, and they're pretty good, to be fair. They're a bit expensive, but you just put everything into a spreadsheet, and then I guess I don't know how it works their end, but essentially they'll obviously see who it's addressed to. You put your store name in on the address. That's how they know it's yours. They then obviously match everything you've bought up on the spreadsheet, and then obviously send it in, I suppose. And then I guess you can know if it's not been delivered because you've created this like the line item on the spreadsheet and it's not obviously turned up for ages. So yeah, spreadsheets aren't the best way to do this, but it is what it is. I'm also now using I'm basically transitioning over to Skewific. Yeah, Skewific they're called, which is run by the guys who own Buybot Pro, Profit Pro, etc. They're doing a great deal right now, so go and check it out. It's £20 a month, which is a little bit higher than most, but it's 50p a unit no matter what, so pretty good. And they've got some like cool software that they license, and you just basically create the shipment on there. So when I order, I don't know, from Amazon, for example, I just put the shipment into thing and say, okay, I'm expecting 3 of these, and then I don't know, it just gets dealt with. I guess you send it, you put your store in the address, and they know. So yeah, but I've never actually been to a prep centre, so yeah, that's how it works from my end anyway. Okay, we got a retracted message. Were you responding to the Chungy guy? Were you asking about the 50-year-old hairy, muscular, dominating guys? I'm joking. Right, so Lawrence is asking, I found what looks like a good lead, but the brand is generic with one seller, assuming this is a red flag. Yeah, I don't think you can sell. Well, I mean, whenever I've seen generic in the past, I've always avoided it. I know Amazon did like a clamp down on generic items a while back, but basically I've never sold a generic item, or maybe once. I avoid them. I don't think you can even sell them anymore. I think you have to get permission to list or like sell on a generic item. But if you want, you can create a listing yourself. Nothing's stopping you doing that. So I've created listings now, under other big brands. So yeah, you can do that. I'm relatively new to this, but that's something I've done. It's a bit more work your end. So when I did it, it's a huge brand. I'm not going to say which one it was. I had to essentially ask Amazon's permission to list on that brand. They then gave me like 48 hours or 72 hours to create the listings under that brand. I did the listing, and then obviously got to upload the photos, create the listing, stuff like that. So if there's a good opportunity there, maybe you could do that. So I'm not hugely experienced with this, but yeah, I have done it once. Cool. Any other questions then? And yeah, generic, I guess, is a red flag. I just don't think you should sell on generic. Yeah. I don't think you even can really. I don't know. Yeah, it's not. I avoid it basically. But yeah, get your questions, guys. We've got another sort of 13 minutes or so. If you've got any final questions about Amazon FBA, then I'm going to go and get some dinner. What should I get for dinner, guys? Leave me a suggestion. I'm trying to be healthy there. So. Yeah, what video? Oh, so guys, I'm working on a course right now. I just filmed a video today, which is coming out tomorrow. So I'm releasing the course like one by one on YouTube, and then eventually, once it's all done, I'll put it on my website. I'll make it available on my Discord group. But yeah, I just went through all the essential equipment and supplies you need. So obviously label printers, scanners, labels, boxes, all that kind of stuff. So many of you, in my Discord, I asked about boxes earlier, which one you guys order. But yeah, just film that. So Ravi says IP strike. Yeah, you could get an IP strike on a generic item potentially. I don't know. I don't know. I sold on generic. I guess it's something I've always been told not to sell on generic. I've never done it. I think a few times I've tried to sell on there. It just said you need to ask permission to sell generic. So I just never bothered really. Never found any good leads on there anyway that are generic. So yeah, I don't know. But buy it and create a listing. Ravi deleted that message as well. That's cool. So yeah, created this video. It's coming out tomorrow. I think at 6 p.m. The equipment needed that I use. I mean, you guys probably know all this stuff anyway. I'm making this course, it's a beginner's course, or beginners to intermediate, so I have to run through some of the more basic stuff, like what software I use, what equipment I use, how to create the Amazon account, which is a tough one actually, because I've not created an Amazon account in 2 years, so, bank account. But then we get into some more juicy stuff, like how to use Keeper, how to use SellerAmp, or Buybot Pro. All the admin stuff you need to do, how to analyze a listing, things like that. So, and how to reverse source, manual source, newsletter source, and keep a product finder source as well. So getting the beginner stuff out of the way now, and then I'm going to get to the really juicy stuff. And this is going to be free, guys, for everyone. So, yeah, I'll let you know when it's all out. Yeah, Nando's could be tempting. I got a Five Guys yesterday, I'm not going to lie. So I drove back from Cambridge, got a Five Guys, and it was good, to be fair. So got a burger and a milkshake. Skip the fries. But the milkshake's like 1,000 calories. I got a peanut butter one. It was delicious, but yeah, so it might be try and be good. But Nando's is not too bad, is it? I always like a Nando's wrap, so and halloumi fries as well. But I've not been Nando's in ages actually, so yeah, could be a good shout. So, any questions? Hey, guys, got any questions about me or business or anything like that? You know, feel free to ask as well. It doesn't just have to be about FBA, I suppose. You can ask me anything if you want. So, you know. Within reason, of course, if you want just to fill out the last sort of 10 minutes or so. But it's been a good session so far. Some very good questions out there, guys. Hopefully I've not missed any as well. I know sometimes I have in the past. But yeah, yes, looking through here, yeah, sorry I can't show the old replans. That sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, cool. So what else we got to talk about? So yeah, working on that course right now, which is awesome. Trying to get that out. I'm going on holiday soon to Mallorca. I'm really looking forward to that. Actually gonna try and relax for a bit, although I'll still be working out there. I'll be filming from there. Ravi's asked, any prep tips? Yeah, it takes ages. Like takes me ages. I mean, I guess the quickest way is to batch everything up. So if you've got 100 items, you know, don't like label one, bag one, put it in a box. You need to label them all at the same time, then bag them all at the same time. So like batching the tasks out, I guess, can help save time. But beyond that, though, I mean, it's a slow process. That's why I kind of like prep centres, because I am a big advocate of doing it all yourself to begin with, especially for a limited budget. Doing prep yourself, you can save yourself some money, but you know, if you can pay 50p an item to someone like Schoific, do it. Because there's more to it than just prepping the item. They've got to receive the delivery. They've got to unpack it, obviously, count it all, make sure it's all there. Quality control, make sure it's all, there's no problems or whatever. Then they've obviously got to like either store it or, you know, immediately start prepping it. And then obviously they've got to box it up and stuff. Then they've got to sort out the delivery and stuff. And this is essentially all the stuff that you do. And then for me as well, I did all that. And then what do I do with the box that it came up with? I had to batch them all up, break them down, take them down the tip. There's a lot more to like sending stuff into Amazon, just like prepping the items. So when you factor all those things in there, for me, like 50p an item or whatever, I know guys have got it way cheaper than that. I know, you know, it's a bargain really. So, but yeah, just try and batch it out, get as quick as possible, put some music on in the background, and just be as quick as possible, I guess. But then also don't try and make mistakes. That's the other thing as well. So, you know, unfortunately, I found that if you send an item into Amazon, it's not in your shipping sort of manifest. It kind of just disappears. I've currently got a bunch of items I sent in that I'm going to lose a lot of money on because I apparently didn't put them in the shipping for some reason, and it could be £1,000 loss, which is actually £1,200 actually loss, which is a real shame. So it's being quick and efficient, but also making sure you can do it 100% as well. So I can see not the seller, or I look at a chart now and I see seller count, but no, this is viewer count. It's dropping off a bit as I guess we're coming to the end here. But yeah, if you've got any more final questions, guys, we've got a few more minutes left. We can, you know, feel free to ask them. But yeah, going on holiday soon, going to relax, which is going to be awesome. I got a nice villa for myself, which is pretty cool. So looking forward to that. Spent far too much money on it, but I wanted to pull for myself. How long would you say it took you to make 1k a month? 1 month, 2 months actually, I think. But I started with a lot of money, so like I'm not one of these guys that's like I started with £1 and then turned it into £100,000 a year in 2 months. No, I started with 30 grand, guys. So I'm pretty sure 30 grand, it might have been 40, I forget. So I did it relatively quickly. I was also in a really good group at the time that's now gone. That had really good Amazon deals. So basically, I was able to almost get to £2,000 a month pretty much right off the bat through Amazon to Amazon. Now that did die off a little bit, that group disappeared, but yeah, for me, I was able to get there really quickly. So you can get there if you want to, get to £1,000 a month. You need to be spending roughly 3,000 to 4,000. If you want to make £1,000 profit a month, you need to be spending 3,000 to 4,000 a month in stock. If you're running at 30% ROI. So that's what you need to be spending. So as long as you're spending that and you keep doing consistently, keep sourcing, you will get there. It's pretty much guaranteed. Unless you're sourcing bad products, of course. Yes, Ravi, 2 thermal printers is essential. But obviously when you're first starting out, you don't want to plonk the money down. But yes, and I've got 6 printers now. So because I had 3 prep stations. One here, that one over there, you can kind of see. Or there's a 3D printer there, it's just kind of there. Anyway, for my cleaner who also helped me prep, and then I've also got my storage unit as well where I've got 2 printers. Yes, it's essential. One for SKU, one for shipping. It's all about just saving time, I guess. But at the end of the day, prepping yourself is a pain. What's your average hold time? Yeah, 2-3 months is probably a good average, I guess. 2-3 months. But I've got ones longer than that, but I've got ones that sell right away. Yeah, average 3 months I'd probably say is probably a good rule of thumb. Yeah, absolutely. So cool, awesome. So yeah. I guess we'll call that a day then. Thanks everyone for joining and asking the questions. We pretty much got through that whole hour without too much of me trying to fill in. But yeah, that's always my concern when I do these. It's like I don't want to be stuck here like not having anything to answer. So that's why I only do these like once a month or so. But I'd love to do these once a week if I get more Discord members and stuff. Enough people coming in. But yeah, awesome guys. I really appreciate you all tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, and guys, join my Discord if you're not in it as well. So yeah, it'd be awesome. But yeah, guys, keep an eye out for my YouTube channel as well. I'm always doing videos, and yeah, thanks.